Gotta talk about that one showing for Magnet Warriors. Make sure you guys smash the living crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more Oz content. So we're going to take a look at the San Diego Regional today. We actually just got our very early set of data here. Now, I do expect that we probably will see some more data coming out of this event as, you know, the days come on. But there's one thing that has really caught a lot of the community's attention, and it's some of the decks within Top Cut here. Now, I mean, your overall breakdown, interestingly enough, Draco Tail was the highest represented challenger, placing 2 branded variants into the Top Cut. Man, that Magistus build is just getting no love whatsoever. Like, it's actually kind of crazy. Now, one of the first spectacles that really caught people off guard here was suddenly Exo Sisters winning a regional out in California. I mean, okay, first of all, it's San Diego with 200 people. It wasn't, you know, a 700 buster, but I think it's very clear to note that, you know, Exo Sister did do pretty decent at this event, and it's a pretty good indicator. It's probably going to do well here in the future. Diversity is one of the things that's going to hurt a lot of people in this format just because they're not able to handle the multiple different things going on. Now, we do have Luna Lights here. I am actually pretty happy to see a Luna Light duelist managing to, you know, really overcome things. Now, this was a second place finish for Luna Lights. The fact that, you know, that people just aren't respecting your towers monster is kind of crazy to me. And I don't know why there's just such an emphasis on just not wanting to do that. We also had Yummy Fiendsmith. Oh boy. The fact that we've kind of seen the idea. I mean, basically right now, the whole big thing with Yummy is you're just trying to supplement another package into the deck in order to make things work. And obviously, I mean, it's working just fine, I feel like, at this stage. Like, the deck is doing decently well for, you know, it just depends on the package that you want to build into it. We also have another sighting for this Azamina White Forest stuff. And we have been no strangers to seeing Azamina White Forest continuing to do its thing. I mean, the 300s are rolling up, I believe it's what, this weekend? So we will see if this is going to stick around and be a challenger. And we also have Radiant Typhoon yet again. I feel like Radiant Typhoon is going to be a household staple of this format interacting. And then we had our Magnet Warrior Challenger, which this is the first sighting of Magnet Warriors that we actually have on record for you guys. Obviously, Magnet Warriors kind of got a little bit of the short end of the stick here in the TCG. You know, we don't necessarily have all of the tools to make it very broken, but I mean, that doesn't stop you. Also, the price to build this deck is like $208. All right, so Magnet Warriors. What exactly is your game plan for this deck? Well, you're going to have to play this a little bit different than what the OCG was doing. Because the OCG is able to regurgitate up, you know, a game plan with, well, you know, block. And we don't necessarily have access to block, which doesn't necessarily help things out. Though there is a nice, really cool boss monster that this deck does get access to in the form of Imperium, the Magnet Superconduction Battle Bot, which you got to remember, this is a combination of Valkyrion and Berserkion, which, take a second here to know Brick 1 and Brick 2. But this thing has to be fusion summoned with the above materials, which we do have a method to do, and cannot be special summoned by other ways. And then once per turn, during either player's turn, when your opponent activates a spell, trap card, or monster effect, you can negate that activation if you destroy that card. If this face-up card in its owner's control leaves the field because of an opponent's card effect, you can special summon both Valkyrion and Berserkion from your hand and or deck, ignoring summoning conditions. The fact that you're calling up a 4,000 Omni Negate right now is a lot more than conveniently what a lot of decks have access to. You also got the new TCG exclusive, the ability to, use a level 5 Earth Higher Rock, or Earth Monster plus a rock to make it, which is really, really nice. And it gets the ability on Fusion Summon to bring back something. Or, special from the hand, depending on how you opened up, which is actually not bad. But I mean, you're still going to be focusing on the big new Conduction Warrior Plasma Magnum, usually. And to those of you that were always wondering why Beta, the Electromagnet Warrior, was going up, unfortunately, he's kind of the best one at the moment, as you've kind of got normal or special. You can add a level 4 lower Magnet Warrior from your deck to your hand. Except for Beta. Oh, look, a Magnet Warrior. On normal or special, you can send a level 4 or lower from the deck to the graveyard. Except for this, and its card becomes that name. Then you can special summon a Magnet Warrior from your graveyard with a different name than the cards that you control. This is actually not terrible, but I mean, considering, you've also got all of the new Magnet Warriors at your disposal. Only playing 2 Sigma Plus is very interesting, to say the least. And of course, yeah, you are going to play the Carmen, or the Duo Tyrion, because you get the ability to actually search for the magnet bonding. The fact that you have a magnet bonding spell card in Archetype to use is so good. And they are playing the Magnet Induction as a one-of. So basically, I mean, your deck can tutor for any rock that it wants, because Gallant Granite just gives you that ability to search, which means as long as decks aren't going to respect Nibiru, you're going to be able to massively control the game. And I think some of the most hilarious ways that you can. But honestly, looking at this build, I'm not surprised. It's just focusing on Valkyrion and Berserkion is probably going to be the better call, at least on the TCG side of things. Now, I also wanted to look at this Exosister list, because Exosister, I've had a lot of people going, hey, have you seen the interesting Exosister list? What is so interesting about this list? This is the Thunder King Ryo down here in the side deck, because that was something that was being discussed, going into this format was, you got a Floodgate monster that you can just drop on the field after you've kind of already done everything. So it's not like that's a new surprising feature. Is it the fact that, you're also able to play Dimensional Fissure? No, not really. But I mean, you're also a deck that can play Shifter in the main deck. You're also playing 42 cards, which I don't think is necessarily terrible. You are also one of the few decks that does get to maximize on 7 Tachyons at the moment, because there's just no other deck that really has the ability to utilize this. Now, knowing that this deck did play 3 Crown, I think Crown is kind of an important piece for this deck, honestly. You do kind of, a lot of your end boards are just kind of Magnifica Go. And, whatever traps that you're beaming out onto the field. I think I've seen maybe a couple of exceptions, depending on how you open up. But I mean, that's fine. You've got, differences on end boards that you can actually set up and kind of go with. So I guess it's not terrible. I can understand why this deck was able to do the things that it was able to do, because it's a good list. And to be surprised that, Exosister was coming out of nowhere is a crazy underestimation of the current modern era format. So give this format some time, people. As you've noticed throughout every different regional, it has been a different story. And I don't mind seeing different stories. I like seeing that, things are changing, and that, you've got good challengers in the meta. The fact that, Magnet Warriors was one of the challengers for this event, I think was a really, really cool spectacle. And gosh darn it, I'm actually really excited to want to see some more of that actually happening. So what do you guys think about this event? Please leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think. I'll see your beautiful faces back here later in the day, guys. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.